I got suspended for 3 days once. I was playing basketball and a guy threw the ball at my head. He missed though. I pushed him and told him to pee off. In response he slapped me in the face. The other kids gathered around but I decided I wasn't gonna fight the guy and left for class. Some kids couldn't keep quiet about the altercation and were yelling across the classroom, "Did you hear Ima's head got in a fight with Derp?" A homeroom teacher overheard and sent us to the principal. I was told to miss 3 days and to get my homework. I said frick that and walked straight home. TLDR. Suspended 3 days for getting slapped. I hope you actually said frick that to the principal. I was in the back of the bus and tried to throw a Cadbury egg at someone in the front. It bounced off the top corner of the seat and hit the bus driver. She pulled over the bus and refused to continue driving until someone confessed. Got 2 weeks in school suspension for it. Why not just eat it? They're so good. I made a fake Facebook account for my headmaster when I was in year 7, 6th grade for the non-British. I added other teachers and students, and it wasn't long before the police turned up at the school. Luckily, he could see that I genuinely didn't realize what I was doing was wrong, and dismiss the police. I had to take the profile down and I was suspended for 3 days. My 7th grade science teacher was in butthole. Someone made a Facebook page, Mr. X's shiny bald head, and had a picture of Mr. Clean. Everyone posted on the page's wall bitching about what he had done in class that day. It's gone now. I don't remember anything big happening to cause it though. In grade 8 I was a bit of a craphead and I threw a turkey, might have been ham, my memory is a little fuzzy, sandwich at a vegetarian girl in our class. I was suspended for a couple days after that. Fast forward 12 years and me and the vegetarian girl have been dating for almost 5 years. Habitual neglect of duty, which means suspended from school for not doing school. When I was younger I was not the best student, didn't do my homework, daydreamed all day in class. Typical 7th grader stuff. My teacher was at her wit's end with me, so they took away the only thing I actually wanted to do, electives. So while the rest of the school was out snowboarding I was stuck in the principal's office doing schoolwork. I drew an army of cats on my detention paper. When I turned it in, I was suspended. A kid I knew from primary school was getting bullied by 2 guys, so I beat both of them up. Explained to the teachers that the guys were bullying somebody but nothing was done about it, whereas I was suspended for the week. Yes kids, do stand up for those who are being bullied. You'll get in trouble via zero tolerance policy. I received 1 day of in-school suspension in 6th grade. I was leaning back in my chair and fell, cracked my head off the floor and proceeded to cry. My teacher sent me to the principal's office for causing a distraction in class. In grade 3 I got suspended for bringing a plastic orange peeler to school in my lunch to peel my orange. I also got suspended a lot for being a little crap in elementary school, from beating up other kids to flooding the bathrooms. And my personal favorite, I dug up one of the young, newly planted trees from the schoolyard and replanted in the pitcher's mound and the baseball diamond. For cutting school, for not being at school for 2 days, I was rewarded 3 more. High school, walking down the hall with a friend. Friend asked for my lighter for a second so I gave it to him. He burned off a piece of his sweatshirt or some crap. I wasn't paying attention. Gives me my lighter back and this girl comes up and says, "Give me your lighter now." She looked like a sophomore and I was a junior, so I said no and kept walking. Later that day I get called down. There's the sophomore girl I said no to earlier. Turns out however, she was a new teacher and just looked young. She was so mad that I embarrassed her. She told the principal I was trying to light kids on fire. Not a great day. I was using the urinal and took my pants all the way off and had my hands above my head, leaning against the wall. Everyone left the bathroom dying laughing, so the principal, who happened to be walking by at the time, decided to come in and find out what was so funny. Jaywalking, helicopter parents crap themselves, and I had to make a decision between military school and private home school. I go to group meetings because they're crazy, and I'm in my 30s. I did not get suspended, but 2 buddies of mine got suspended for shooting a paper wasp at me. What made it bad was that they had looped several rubber bands together to make a 4 or 5 foot catapult, built the wasp out of an entire poster board, and stood up in the back of class to rain heck on my unsuspecting butt. The teacher looked up from his book, and that was that. I stole a pizza and got caught, but I was a Robin Hood and shared it with everyone on the bus. My brother got suspended for 3 days for playing with a laser pointer. The teacher told the principal he tried to shine it in her eye. He admitted that playing with the laser was dumb, but he absolutely did not try to shine it in anyone's eye. I was suspended freshman year for saying frick you be to a teacher I ended up having and getting along with senior year. Got suspended from elementary school for use of a weapon. It was a snowball. My older brother used to make what he called atomic snowballs. He'd take a clump of snow in his bare hands and melt it into a ball of ice, cover it up with snow, and throw it at me. Those things hurt like a mother. I got expelled for attempting to steal a toilet in junior high. Load of crap that was. What was the please stop school presentation that you witnessed? In college during abnormal psychology, a student did an entire presentation on Obama's bipolar disorder. She kept citing an article from The Onion. I roll R out of The Onion. Was in a video filmmaking class in high school. One group of guys did a parody of those Gatorade commercials where the athlete's sweat is colored like Gatorade, but it was a sweaty guy jerking off. Apparently there was a Gatorade cum shot, but the teacher just turned that crap off immediately before it got that far. I never thought I would read the words Gatorade cum shot together with my own 2 eyes in my entire life, yet here I am. The anti-vaxxer chick that did a presentation on why vaccines cause autism, followed up by someone else's presentation on how vaccines do not cause autism. It was a weird day. I bet the guy who went after her felt pretty confident when he walked up. Presentation on World War II. Student had just discovered all the neat transitions you can use between slides and decided to use a different one each slide. They used the flashing heart transition between a photo slide of a mass grave and a photo slide of Hitler. For 8th grade talent show, 2 girls sang the Mr. Bledel song. Mr. Bledel was a good looking, recently college graduated teacher that basically was about how cute they thought he was. Even then, it was incredibly uncomfortable, and I remember looking at the teacher's face and he didn't seem very amused. God, I would hate to be that teacher. Opioid awareness, literally a few months ago, started with them blasting the entirety of the Disturbed cover of The Sound of Silence, while a slideshow of images containing sad stock photos with the watermark all over, random shots of really dark nighttime photos, and tons of poorly photoshopped drug images trudged on ever so slowly. Then, 2 women told us the harrowing stories of how their sons died of opioid overdoses. Incredibly emotional. Several people cried. Real downer. Basically, then, a D agent comes up and tries to act all bad cop. He calls us, an assembly of high school students, grades 9-12, freaking morons. The principal was not pleased. He is then followed by a nurse who was there to tell us the physical effects of opioid addiction and withdrawals and all that, and she did talk about that, but the whole time she was running around practically screaming jokes and doing crappy over the top gags trying to be the comic relief in an opioid assembly where 2 women shared the stories of how their children died. What the frick was she doing being that loud and crazy? Everyone came out of the whole thing with a general attitude of yeah frick opioids, but also frick that whole presentation. Once in college I was in my Spanish class and our desks were in a U shape. I was on the very end of the U. So some guy is giving a presentation. He is standing behind a podium. Gets a boner. I'm on the side and no one is opposite so I can see it. Dude just kept going on and on and on. I think he was trying to outlast the boner. He ended up getting it down before he had to sit down. Was like a 10 minutes presentation that only needed to be like 3 minutes. The fear boner. In my high school current events class, 2 freshman girls got a little lost in their research about ISIS. They somehow connected this terrorist group to the magic bullet theory used in the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Me and the few other seniors were holding back laughter the entire presentation. Had to look it up. Apparently there are some fringe groups actually promoting this as a thing. What the heck world, what the heck. Not a literal presentation really, but we had an assembly in high school where the students that helped plan homecoming would announce the nominations for homecoming court. It always had a cute little theme and like a short skit involved. Well, at one point the audio they were using as the cue for the skit failed. They just kind of paused for technical difficulties. But this one girl from the planning committee started singing a random Disney song a cappella while improvising a dance to go along with it. I guess as a distraction from them trying to fix the audio. She kept trying to get people to join in with her, but nobody did, and she eventually just kind of trailed off mid-song and started pouting that nobody would sing with her. Then once they got the audio fixed for the skit, she pouted and snapped the way through the rest of her lines, which made everything even more uncomfortable. The other famous one was when a girl in our class running for student government referenced a hashtag that she was trying to make popular during her campaign speech to the whole school. The hashtag was something catchy about her having a big butt. There was a genuine collective yikes from the crowd when she said it. I don't think she got